red state, trying to talk some sense. Always shoots it straight, he don't straddle no fence. A common man with a real plan, he's a friend to you and me. A long shot from the Lone Star, he's the voice that we need. Better vote like there's no tomorrow, 'cause friend, our future's on the line. We can't stay silent and we can't back down. We can't sit this one out this time. If you want a man who'll take a stand, talk straight and walk tall, it's time to ride or die and get behind old Texas Paul.
Hey, amigo. Sorry we started a minute or two late. I came running in. I was writing down some numbers and just trying to keep track of everything, and I lost track of time, my friend. I'm sorry about that.
No problem. Glad we're here.
Well, I tell you, it's been one hell of a night so far. It seems like we've got a few interesting trends going on. Everything I've seen so far is kind of looking like a bit of a wash. It's going to be really tight. I mean, really, really tight. I don't know. What are you picking up so far tonight?
That's what I'm seeing too. It's a lot closer than I think a lot of us on both sides thought.
Oh, Bill Lee got called early.
Yeah. So did Rand Paul up in Kentucky, and those are two that I definitely saw coming.
I don't know, man. I just I'm getting so many mixed signals here tonight. And I know what it is. Early voting is going to break hard for Democrats. In-day voting is going to break initially for Republicans because those small counties those rural precincts get their numbers in so fast versus your larger Democratic stronghold. And so we had a strong lead coming in, and it's switch back to, in some states, Republicans are looking pretty good. But I tell you, it's in things like the Warnock-Walker race. It's tightening up a little bit, but man, it's not tightening up enough to help Walker. It's just not. I mean, he's about to get hit with artillery barrages of votes out of those big precincts, and he's just not going to make it. That one's clear to me. But something else I saw that was really neat was I was watching a ballot initiative. I kind of like to see how people tend to vote in trends. It's either going to be a good year one way or the other, And I watched a ballot initiative for a little town here in Texas called Athens. And it was Make Athens a Sanctuary City for the Unborn initiative. Yeah. And out in hillbilly country, that should have been about a 98% win.
Yeah.
And it's not. I mean, it's going to win. I mean, people are still voting for crazy shit. But I was kind of heartened to see that didn't just sweep in.
Yeah.
Last time I looked, it was like 70-30.
Yeah.
So to see that much pushback on something like, the crazy shit that we've seen for the last few years out of Republicans, I don't know, heartens me a little bit. What are you seeing where you're, what you're watching?
Yeah, man. I'm seeing a lot of the same thing. There's, it's still though, I feel the same way tonight that I felt back in 2020. I still feel like it's too close and it shouldn't be. It's one of those things where I was hoping for a bigger turnout, but I think there is a whole lot of, there's a lot more younger people voting, and there is a lot more people voting blue. But like you said, in a number like that, that's one of those things that I think a couple of years ago would have been a landslide. The fact that it's 70-30 is actually a good thing, as crazy as that may seem, because I think it shows you that people are starting to come around. It's maybe a slow process for us.
I don't know. You know what it feels like to me? We're radicalizing.
Yeah, definitely.
That we're just radicalizing everywhere. I mean, it's been so disheartening to see the crazy crap that these Republicans are still voting for.
Yeah.
It's just insane. I really didn't feel like there would be much of a Republican turnout. If you'd have asked me this morning, I'd have said we're probably looking at a blue wave.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. This is going to buck all trends. I mean, every midterm election, the party in power loses seats in the House. That's just the way it's always been. I mean, I think that it's 2 or 3 times in history that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
And I would have told you this morning, I think we're going to break even. I think it's going to be so tight that it may be a break even situation. I mean, we may lose votes, but it'll be a small number, maybe 10 seats, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Looking at the way these votes are coming in, I'm not seeing this big tsunami red wave hitting. I'm just not seeing it. But I'm still seeing enough crazy that it looks like we're going to give up the House.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your take on it?
I think so too. And I think, the thing is, man, they really believe that last election was rigged. They believe the game was rigged against them. And I think I thought they would come out strong, because I feel like they thought the last election was stolen, and that gave them every reason to try to really get in there and try harder this time. So I'm not surprised really to see a good turnout for them, because, like I said, they felt the last one was stolen. But they're endorsing more crazy, and everything's becoming more radicalized. It really is, and it's one of those things I wrestle with, because you say to yourself, okay, who are we supposed to talk to now? If we're talking about radicals, okay, how are we supposed to find that middle ground with reasonable people? Where's that reasonable ground at? Because, I was talking to a friend of mine not too long ago about, Bill Maher. And Bill Maher, back when I was younger, he was one of my favorites, man. He was a guy back when I was younger that I really looked up to, and I always loved his opinions on stuff. And these days, he seems to me like he really buys into a lot of stuff that the right wing's saying, and spends all of his time talking about that and bashing Democrats. And when he does that, he says to people like us, hey, you guys need to lighten up on the Republicans, because, that's what's causing you guys to lose. But my argument is they're not lightening up on us. They're coming at us harder than ever. So how do we talk to them? How do we reach those people that might be sort of teetering on the fence?
Amen, brother. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think we can. I think we're just going to have to keep, we're going to lose the House, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be back on a committee. Yeah. You're just going to have to see this fucknuttery go on for a while. But I don't think we're going to be able to reach across that aisle. I don't. I think we're just going to have to beat them. In the long run, we're just going to have to decide what kind of country we want, because, man, I tell you what, those Republicans are telling us clearly tonight that they're cool with all of this crazy shit. They're okay with it.
Absolutely.
Look at the way DeSantis won in Florida. Yeah. Florida's gone, man. It is gone. It's a fucking cesspool right now. Yeah. I mean, you gave Florida voters Val Demings. If you can't vote for Val Demings, who the fuck can you vote for? Exactly. I mean, and they voted for, and look, man, I know Marco Rubio's a little punk. Marco Rubio's a little punk. Everybody in Florida knows Marco Rubio is a little punk. Yeah. And they voted for him anyways.
Yeah.
You're. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say that's the same thing that I see happening up, in Tennessee and Kentucky. And one thing that I've noticed, Kentucky always, anytime, Rand Paul or Mitch McConnell is up for re-election, they always the polls usually close early and it's done. It's over with real quick. But man, I'm a musician, and I've traveled around Southeast Kentucky and East Tennessee for over 25 years, and I've talked to so many people in bar rooms that I played music in, and I've traveled every back road in the country getting to my shows. And I don't see a whole shit ton of like Rand Paul signs or Mitch McConnell signs in people's yard. You really don't see it that much. And if you ask the average Joe on a bar stool what he thought of either of them, he'd say, "Oh, they're full of shit. Oh, they're a lying, crooked politician." And then I'll say to him, I'll say, "Okay, so if you think that, then why are you voting for them?" And they'll say, "Well, at least they're not a Democrat."
Because he ain't a Democrat.
Yeah, they have bought that narrative, man. They've bought it so strong. I believe at the end of the day, people, a good chunk of people in Kentucky knows Rand Paul's full of shit, but they're afraid of the Democrats. Because the Republican Party, the far right, has done such a good job of selling the narrative that we're baby killers and that we're un-American, we're communists, we're socialists, we're Marxists. They've done such a good job of selling that narrative that they will go, well, okay, I guess, I don't like this guy. He's crooked as could be, but I'm going to vote for him anyway because I don't want the other. And I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Because you look at Charlie Crist versus DeSantis. DeSantis was an open candidate that said, I'm going to do this crazy radical shit, and I'm not going to apologize for it.
Yeah.
And that's the way we're going to govern in the state. And we offered him Charlie Crist. Charlie Crist is by no means, some sort of flaming liberal. He is a conservative Democrat.
Yeah.
What the shit he supports, other than LGBTQIA rights, because he's part of the community. He's nothing else is on the liberal agenda. I mean, you're not going to get single payer or anything like that on his radar anywhere.
Yeah.
And, we gave him that. Look, vote for Charlie Crist. Okay. You've seen him for governor before. He did an all right job before. Do it. Do it. Republicans said, no, we like this fucknuttery. We do. We like it. We like this shit. Yeah. Fuck governing, fuck running the state. That's where Florida's at right now. And you just need to let that swamp be a fucking swamp as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I just spent some time up in D.C. and everybody down here says shit like, oh, them D.C. people, they just want to force their lifestyle on us and they want to take our guns. And you know what the people of D.C. think about the people in fucking Florida and Texas and shit like that? You know what they think about them? Not a fucking thing, dude. We are not on their radar at all.
Exactly.
The only time we get on their radar is when a dumb fuck shows up with an AR-15 at a pizza joint in DC. Then we make their radar. They don't want us to have guns because apparently we're too fucking stupid to have guns. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, this country really, in some cases, appears to be just radicalizing, because nothing we do as Democrats to offer them a fig leaf ever works out.
Exactly.
Ever.
No.
I mean, I don't know about you, but what can you do to reach out to them? How can you?
I don't think like you said before, I don't think you can. I don't think we can go soft either. The thing is, I will say this. I think people likes, even if it is crazy, they like confidence. They like somebody that's just got a screw you attitude. That's always been the thing. People love the most famous picture of Johnny Cash is the one of him giving the middle finger. And more people knows Johnny Cash from that middle finger picture than they do for some of the brilliant songs he wrote. You know what I mean? So Ron DeSantis comes out and he just throws the middle finger up and says, this is how I'm going to govern and screw you if you don't like it. And like I said, going back to talking about people who don't necessarily, or people who probably thinks he's a crooked politician, they'll still vote for him just because, well, he had balls and he flipped the bird and he didn't care, And I think that's why that we are not going to be able to reach across the aisle with these people. We're just going to have to have our own screw you attitude about it, and
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, people will respect you even if they disagree with you. They'll respect you if you just don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. 100%. A couple things that are fleshing out tonight that are looking good right away, early bright spots. You got Wes Moore. He's only the third African American ever elected in Maryland. Was elected governor. He beat Dan Cox, who was running, was a Republican darling, and Maryland will go Republican on you. It will. I mean, that is a true purple state.
Yeah.
And they went hard for Westmore. He won and won handily. Another bright spot that kind of dents my theory a little bit about us radicalizing is Maura Healey won in Massachusetts over Jeff Deal, and she is the first open member of the LGBTQIA community to ever win statewide office in Massachusetts. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I believe she's the first lesbian to ever win, lesbian, gay person, whatever, to ever win a statewide office in Massachusetts. So, I mean, there are some bright spots where it looks like people don't give a shit about shit that they don't need to give a shit about.
Yeah.
But I tell you, man, the fact that the Warnock Walker race is even close.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I saw that visceral reaction and you that what the fuck, man? Run with it, dude.
This one should not be close. By no means. I have never seen a candidate that was a bigger sinking ship than Herschel Walker, and yet you still see the Republican Party defending him to the death, man. And it's so. I mean, when Herschel Walker, when Obama was campaigning and Obama kind of poked fun at Herschel Walker and done the whole thing about I got a badge and kind of mocked Herschel Walker. Herschel tries to come back on him and say that he will put his record up against Obama's any day. And that was one of the most laughable moments of the whole campaign to me. I'm like, man, watching Herschel Walker try to debate Barack Obama is the ultimate definition of a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. I mean, it's like, but it's close. There's people out there that are actually that looked at Herschel Walker and said, I think this might be a good idea. And that is pretty scary, man.
I think Herschel Walker falls into that same category as Marco Rubio. I don't think anybody in fucking Florida is voting for Marco Rubio. I mean, that guy's a little bit. And I don't think anybody in Georgia was voting for Herschel Walker. I think it's that, like you said, that narrative that they have, well, he ain't a Democrat. I mean, the stupidest shit I've ever heard. You know what I'd kind of like to see, to be quite honest with you? And I don't mean to talk against my own state or anything like that, my own state's interests. But like here in Texas, you don't like Democrats? Cool. No problem. You ain't got to deal with us. Pack the shit up in Fort Hood. Well, it's not Fort Hood anymore, but pack the shit up and move. Put that shit in Nebraska. Nebraska just elected a Democratic governor. They did. Nebraska, red state Nebraska. I mean, you want to be shitty all the time. You want to be Ron DeSantis. That's who you want to put in office. We keep offering you these fig leaves. We keep offering you these candidates that will work with you. And you keep telling us, fuck you. I want to see Democrats get militant. Okay. You're a fucking welfare state, Texas. We're going to pull those bases out. Half of them. See how you like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I'm tired, Brando. I'm tired of tying our hands behind our back. I'm tired of Republicans not having any rules, and then we just impose our own rules on us. Yeah. You got Sherry Beasley. It's going to be a tight ass race against Todd Budd. I mean, unless there's been a big dump, Sherry Beasley again is looking at, right now Budd has moved ahead, but again, you've got all those rural districts reporting in, and he's doing real well and well enough in some of those red rural districts that it may be down to a few thousand votes to decide that race.
Yeah.
But I think Sherry Beasley at this point, I mean, I still have a feeling that she's going to pull out a tight one there in North Carolina. But, I'm just seeing over and over and over again in states down south. I mean, the most ridiculous, like that clown in Alabama. I can't even remember her name right now. You know who I'm talking about. Kay.
Yeah. Oh,
what the hell is her name?
I can't. Oh, crap, man.
Somebody in
first
the
name is
chat,
Jay.
help us out. What the
It's the crazy old
governor
lady
of
from
Alabama? Yeah, psycho grandma.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, she easily. I mean, they called her race immediately.
Yeah,
You know,
what's funny, man, is I honestly, the first time I ever saw her, I thought it was like a Saturday Night Live kind of satirical skit. I didn't think it was real. I laughed at it. I laughed at the ad, thinking that it was satire. I thought, man, that's pretty funny. And then I was like, wait a minute, that's a real person. And that's the thing nowadays, man. You really can't tell the difference between Kay Ivey. Yes, thank you, Anna Bay. That's Kay Ivey. You can't tell the difference anymore, man, between satire and real life. A lot of times.
yeah, and that's the problem. I mean, that is the problem. I am, you know, I was really excited to see Wes Moore and Moore Healy win. Because to me, that means that we're, like I said, we're not going to see a tsunami in either direction.
Yeah.
The big shit burger we're going to have to eat is we're going to lose the House.
Yeah.
We're going to lose the House, and it's just insane that we're going to. I don't know what it took people to see out of Republicans to say, I don't want that running my country.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I can't wrap my head around it, because you can't piss on me and tell me it's raining. I'll punch you in the dick. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. But these people just seem to love it, man. It's like they're freaking golden shower addicts. You know, they just.
Yes. Well, you know,
and you've seen it. You get around, you travel, you interact with crowds. I mean,
I do. And like I said earlier, man, they've just bought for everything we believe and every stance that we take, they're on the opposite side, feeling just as strong about it. You know, they really feel that we'll say things like, I'll say things like, today was the day about democracy. We're fighting for our democracy. And I've had people in my comment section saying, yeah, well, our democracy was taken from us because they feel like that they were robbed in 2020. No matter how much evidence we put in front of their face, that's the narrative they bought, because the Republicans have done such a good job of pushing the big lie. They push that big lie so hard now that it's going to be real hard for us to ever turn it around. And here's the funny thing too: when Republicans are winning, I don't hear anyone questioning those results. They're immediately jumping up and down and celebrating when it's called early for a Rand Paul or a Ron DeSantis. But if it had went the other way, I'm sure they would have been hollering election fraud, because that's just the narrative they bought into, because the Republicans have done such a good job of selling it.
Oh, Herschel Walker's pulled ahead in Georgia.
Really?
Yeah, I was just looking at some.
I noticed it's been going back and forth for him. So, how many?
It's those early. That's the way it always works. That's why I don't want people to get discouraged. The news media loves this shit. They love this shit. Because what happens is you get the early voting in that's favoring us, and then immediately these rural counties dump, because how long does it take to count a rural county? Not damn many. Not damn long. So they're reporting, while you've got these big counties that they'll report a chunk that's larger than most counties. Yeah. But they're going to hold it. They're not going to do 80,000 at a time when they're counting, 6 million votes. They're not going to do it. 4 million votes or 2 million votes. They're not going to do it. Dallas is not going to report out tit for tat. That's not what they do. That's not what they're supposed to do. They're going to count a third of their votes, and then they're going to dump it.
Yeah.
Then they're going to count another third, and then they're going to dump it, or a quarter and dump it. You know what I mean? And so what you're going to see over the rest of the evening is you're going to see Democrats were ahead, then Republicans are going to pull ahead, and the Republicans are going to say, we won.
Yeah,
exactly. And then the Democrats are going to pull back ahead, and they're going to say, you cheated. And because all afternoon, from prime time, from 6:30 to 10 o'clock tonight, and I'll give you a perfect example. I hate this, dude. I hate this. They were talking to Michael Steele on MSNBC.
Yeah.
And he called a race, and they corrected him and said, "We haven't called that race." Michael Steele smiled and crossed his arms and said, "Yeah, but every major newspaper in the state did." They were trying to drag it out. They were holding numbers that they had, so that they could do this damn drama narrative to get everybody to watch all damn night.
Yeah.
And it's bullshit, man. Just give us the information.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about that, brother? I mean, you think I'm exaggerating, or do you think?
No, I think you're spot on. That's exactly what will happen in a whole lot of cases. There's always going to be Democrats always do better in early voting. They always have, and but what's funny is me myself. I've never really been an early voter. I've always waited till election day just because I like standing in line. I don't know. It just kind of feels more like an event to me when I do it that way. But yeah, the Democrats always do better. And then when the Republicans pull ahead and then the Democrats pull ahead again, you're going to have Republicans screaming it was rigged.
Yeah, right. Right now, we've got a report. I'm trying to see 52% of the vote in. You've got Abbott up 53% at 45 for O'Rourke. But again, you're going to see that. You're going to see that. We have large rural counties that seem like a big number. We've got rural counties bigger than a lot of people's urban counties here in Texas. So you're going to see some big numbers pop out, and it's going to look like, oh, Abbott's running away. He's not. I guarantee you he's not. That's a much closer race. This is not a 53-45 race at all.
No.
At all. When Dallas drops, when Houston drops, when San Antonio drops, when Austin drops, you're going to see those races just tighten up, man. And you're going to, in a lot of cases, you're going to see the Democrats just blow on by and, fuck you, see you later, But it all depends. Did people come out? And be honest with you, I'm very, very worried at this point if we did. We talked about these phenomenal numbers, but game day, did we show up enough to tamp these numbers down?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you seeing out in the western region of the eastern region of the country?
I'm actually at the moment, Paul, I don't have the numbers up in front of me. I just know that, before we started on the air, I know that it was already called early for Kentucky and Tennessee, basically where I'm at. So I kind of saw that coming, but again, I think that I don't think we're going to see a wave one way or the other. I think it's like you said, it's going to remain tight, and that's going to be interesting going forward. Like as we head into 2024, I feel like it's going to be. I think tonight and the results of this election is going to be very interesting as we go into 2024. And on my Patreon, I asked my patrons if they would want to submit a question to our podcast tonight, and I got a question here that kind of goes along with what we're saying. If you don't mind, I'd like to
go with it, man.
It's kind of a 3-part question, so we can split it up however we want to. But Rochelle asks, she says, do you think that Trump will be a viable candidate in 2024? Will he be arrested? And do you think that Ron DeSantis is more extreme than Donald Trump? You want to take part of that? Do you think Trump will be a viable candidate in 2024?
After tonight, no, I don't. I don't think so. He's getting kicked in the dick tonight. Yeah. All the candidates that the Republicans had a strategy. They learned in the last election that if they run women, they win. That the only Democrats they took down in the last election was they were running Republican women. Mm-hmm. And the other thing they learned is that stay away from Trump.
Yeah.
You had some candidates that just embraced him, like Mastriano is getting absolutely ruffle stomped in Pennsylvania right now. And he was just all in Trumper crazy bullshit. He was a walking fucking stereotype. But you take a look at, like DeSantis. DeSantis iced Trump out. He wouldn't even do a rally with him.
Yeah.
And DeSantis won handily.
Yeah.
So do I think Trump's a viable candidate in 2024? I don't even know if Trump makes it through the primaries, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah. I think so too. The only thing about Trump, I agree with you, but at the same time, man, it's like he's Teflon Don. It's like nothing sticks to him. And I've been wrong about him so many times that I'm afraid to answer that question. But she also wanted to know, do you think he will be arrested? Can you see that happening?
No, because guys like him, we have a multi-tiered justice department, justice system. Guys like Donald Trump don't get arrested.
Yeah,
they are allowed to quietly walk in to the back of a courtroom, plead, and then drive away. Yeah. No, so he won't be perp walked. He won't be arrested. Do I think he'll be indicted? Is what I think she's asking. Yeah. He's going to be indicted all over the damn place. And that's why he's going to have so much trouble. And I think Republicans are really, I don't know if you heard this or not, but the GOP came out publicly, told Trump, we're not paying your frickin' legal bills. I don't care if you announce or not. Yeah. So.
And, and you was talking about how DeSantis, basically, won without Trump. Do you think Trump is, or do you think DeSantis is more extreme than Donald Trump?
Oh yeah, and worse, he's smarter.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That was going to be my answer. The only thing he's smarter. I just don't know if he has the cult of personality that Donald Trump has. I don't know if he has a celebrity, but he's definitely the smarter of the two. And I think he actually means what he says. Whereas I think Trump's a grifter who will say anything to get ahead. I think DeSantis really believes in the batshit crazy stuff that comes out of his mouth. I think he's dead serious about it. I think he means it. And I think he's more extreme. I think he's somebody that and winning tonight, after the whole thing with Trump, he pulls out a victory. I saw a news clip where it said that Trump had sent word to DeSantis to not run for president, to stay in Florida. But I don't see DeSantis doing that. I think DeSantis will get the big head and go for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's going, man. DeSantis is, and the GOP's already told Trump we want DeSantis because 2 words. Marco Rubio. It doesn't matter that Marco Rubio is a little bitch. Yeah. Republicans will vote for him. Yeah. Now he's not going to pull a fuck ton of independents or anything like that. And I think ultimately DeSantis loses because unless Trump gets really, really smart in like the next week or two, it's going to be bloody because Trump's going to announce next week. Yeah. He's going to announce at Mar-a-Lago he's going to run. Yeah. He's really thinking that that's going to offer him some sort of protection in these upcoming indictments. But these are not hard cases that he's facing. These are literally cases where the prosecutor walks in and holds a notebook up for the jury and says, "See this number? Okay, you see that number? Okay, that's illegal. That's a crime." I rest my case. And you know what I mean? He's not facing complex cases, even fucking dummies. No. So yeah, it's just going to be some interesting time, man. We are going to be, if one thing you could take from this is you and I are going to have jobs doing this for a while. we really are, because it's going to be interesting. But I'll tell you, and man, you're much more peaceful than I am. You are like my man. That's why I love doing this show with you. Yeah. I really do, because it's like I'm fire and you're ice. You know what I mean? It's like you are the calm. I'm telling people tonight, buy guns. I am. I'm telling people tonight, buy guns. Yeah. Don't be afraid of guns. Buy them. And, because look, folks, Ron DeSantis is an evil motherfucker. He is. And he's smart. He's not stupid like Trump. Yeah. if the Republicans do in the House what I think they're going to do, politically, it will be slitting their own wrists because, Americans like shit to happen. It's like when they turned on Trump, they like it to a point. They like it till it's a shit show. And man, Kevin McCarthy is a weak individual. And he's not going to be able to control his caucus. They're going to impeach Joe Biden immediately. And they're going to impeach him 10 times because we impeached Trump twice.
Yeah.
It's just going to be one shit show after another, after another, after another, after another. And I understand that you're scared. I mean, I appreciate you putting that comment up there, put that comment out. I understand that you're scared. You have a reason to be. You have a reason to be. And I honestly can't tell you at this point everything's going to be okay. I'd be lying to you if I did. Because Republicans don't have the guardrails we do. They don't.
Exactly.
And they're going to have half the legislature, all of the Supreme Court. They're going to be ridiculous. They are going to be ridiculous. Griswold v. Connecticut is going to go. It is. It's going to go.
Yeah.
We're going to lose our right to choose our own contraception. As crazy as that sounds, it's about to happen. That's what this election came down to. Roe v. Wade will not be codified. It will not. That's what this election means. The fact that we didn't blue tsunami this shit and totally buck history. And I'm telling you, that's not what's happening right now. That's not what's happening out there in the numbers that are coming in. I mean, it's going to be a good night for us. We're going to hold the Senate. We're going to take some seats. I think old Tim Ryan's going to come in across up in Ohio, which is crazy because, Mike DeWine is a popular governor in Ohio, and you never see the governor and a senator running on the same ticket from the same party. One wins, one loses. It doesn't happen that way. And that's what's happening tonight. It's like a 1 in 10 chance for that to happen. And the numbers are all coming back that Tim Ryan is going to squeak this one out.
Yeah.
And that's the Trump factor right there. Cause you got Trump all over JD Vance.
Yeah.
Putting his stink all over him, and it's really, it's a scary time. I mean, it's a scary time. And I wish I could tell you different, but I can't. So I'm going to tell you, buy guns.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me, well, that doesn't do anything because you can't fight the government. You're not going to be fighting the government. You're not. Yeah. It's these radical ass crazy people that you're going to see. It'll be at the grocery store. You'll get some fucking crazy. It'll be at the restaurant. You'll get some freaking crazy. I'm telling you, go out and get you a little 9mm. Sig makes a great one that holds 12 rounds of 9mm, and it's smaller than my hand. I mean, it's a little thing fit in your purse. Go get you one, man. Go get you one. I'm telling you. Because the Republicans are going to take this as a win.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even though it's not, they're going to call it a win. They're going to take it as a win, and they're going to say, see, everybody loves our agenda, and they're going to go do some crazy shit, man.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but you come for my daughter, I'm going to blow your head off.
Yeah.
I warned you. But they are. They are. It's how they SWAT people.
Yeah.
How soon do you think it's going to be that they call in on your daughter, call bullshit in on your daughter, come try to arrest your daughter?
Oh yeah. You're right.
I mean, I know you're the more peaceful of the two, and I keep waiting for you to jump in and say something that makes me feel better about this. But
well, I mean, I can't disagree with you on this one, man. I am a peaceful person, but you know, me and some friends of mine one time, I'll never forget this. We were having a conversation about guns, and everybody there was Democrats. We were all progressive, liberal people having a conversation. There was about 5 or 6 of us sitting around talking, and we asked the question, you know, how many of us, you know, owns a gun? How many of us is packing? And one of my friends spoke up and said, "Well, you know what? I'll never carry one ever." He's like, "I just won't." He's like, "Because I would never want to ever hurt anyone." And so another friend of mine spoke up and he said, "Well," he said, "I'll tell you what." He said, "I am carrying." And he said basically exactly what you just said, word for word. I mean, the same thing. And he made a really good point, my friend did, and kind of silenced the entire room. He was like, "You know what?" He's like, "I've lived through a whole lot of heartache in my life, and I've overcome a whole lot of tragedy. And the last thing I'm going to do is let one of these crazy people take my life from me. You know, I'm going to go down swinging if that's what if I have to go down at all." And it kind of silenced everybody in the room. We all were just kind of like, "Oh shit," you know. But it's true, man. That's one of those points that, and I used to be, you know, maybe 5, 6 years ago, I probably would argue with you as you were saying that, but now I can't. You know, I have to say I'm listening to a lot more to what you're saying and what my dear old dad's been saying for a long time. So yeah.
You know, I just, and there are bright spots. Don't get me wrong. You know, somebody just put up that I can't increase his volume. I'm sorry, I can't. Let me see what I can do.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on getting a better microphone because this one's not doing what I want it to do.
I've got volume equalization on everything I can to boost you up, brother, but I can't get your volume any higher. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We're maxed out there. Yeah, and that's it. That's all you got, my man. You just got to yell at him, brother. Yell at him.
All right.
Let me crank mine down way down, see if it'll help bring yours up a little bit.
That's
This
okay.
is a
I'm going to
weird
be
program.
working on. Hopefully, I just need to find a better microphone. If anyone out there's got a better idea for me, let me know because I definitely want to be heard.
You know, I was yeah. There are some bright spots out there. I mean, there are some bright spots out there. Like we were talking about, somebody was asking about Fetterman. Is Fetterman's goose cooked? No. I think Fetterman's going to squeak this out. He's going to. Is it going to be as strong and commanding a win as it should be? No. Shouldn't be this damn close. It shouldn't be. But you're going to have to look to the top of the ticket there. Again, you've got Shapiro and is dragging Fetterman along. And Fetterman is not performing as well as Shapiro. He's not.
Yeah.
Shapiro's outperforming him because Ted, I mean, I'm sorry, but Mastriano is just a cauldron of bubbling turds. I mean, he's so repugnant.
Yeah.
You know, when Dr. Oz loses this race, he's going to be able to look to Mastriano as an excuse and a legitimate excuse.
Yeah.
But somebody's telling me the grass is grassland. I'm gonna have to look that up real quick. You take it for a minute, Brando? Let me look this up.
Okay. But yeah, we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and also we will be back here again tomorrow night, same time and same channel. We're going to be doing tomorrow night at 9:30, which is our regular scheduled show. So be sure to come back, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Let us know what you want to hear because we enjoy having you with us each week.
Wow, man. Let me pull this up on the screen. Let me pull this up on the screen. Let me see if I can get it to come up. Don't know why. You got to forgive me. Everything's running real slow tonight. I don't know why. I don't know why. All right.
So are we thinking that Chuck Grassley is gone? Is that what we're looking for?
Well, there we go. Got it. Got it. That's what I wanted you to see right there. Look down here in the bottom. It's a little bit difficult to see. I can't really zoom in on it, but you got Michael Franken at this point in the evening, well ahead of Chuck Grassley. That's not recoverable at this point. I believe you are right there. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Pavader, I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like old Chuck Grassley's in the toilet. That's a shocker right there. That is a huge shocker right there. Thanks for calling that to our attention.
Yeah.
But this time of night, you should see the in-person voting with a Chuck Grassley with a commanding lead. And what we've got is with, let's see if I can pull the reporting percentage up. What's been reported? 33% in so far, and that's going to be mostly rural. I mean, you're not going to get the Des Moines numbers, the Cedar Rapids and Sioux City numbers in this early. It's just not. You're just not.
Yeah.
I mean, there will be small portion, but not a whole lot. And to see Michael Franken in the lead, yeah, that's looking really steady for old Mike Franken.
Good.
Glad to see it. Good
Yeah,
news. More good news. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about this blue tsunami. That would be cool.
Yeah, it would be.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm seeing encouraging things, like I said, I'm following these results in from these like small, rural counties and we're seeing definitely here in Texas, we're seeing still the same craziness, but we're not seeing the kind of 80-20, 70-30 craziness. These races are coming in closer to 60-40. And, something you've got to keep in mind also is these races are never going to be any contested races are not going to be 10-point races. They're just not.
Yeah.
They're always going to be, a 5-point win is a decisive win. But I'm pulling up Arizona right now. I'm kind of interested in what they're reporting. I don't think they're I don't think they're in yet, but we've got 38% reporting. We've got Mark Kelly most definitely kicking the shit out of Blake Masters, and that's good news this time of night. With almost 40% in, there's just Maricopa County is as Maricopa County goes, Arizona goes, and Mark Kelly is decisively, and they're from the Tucson area, so normally Republicans would take, Democrats had strong showings in Tucson, but not enough. That's where they cut into. You're expecting the Democrats to do well in Tucson, but it was always rural enough that it was never massively decisive. But you've got Mark Kelly, who is from Tucson. His wife is very, Gabby Giffords was their representative forever until some lunatic Republican shot her. They're just doing extremely well. And I think that is one of the big keys to why Democrats are doing so well in Arizona, because we did. We gave them a good candidate in Mark Kelly.
Yeah.
Let me check on the Arizona governor's race real quick. Let me pull up some numbers on that. See how Nutball is doing. I cannot believe that anybody walked into a booth today and said, you know what, I think it would be a good idea. Let me vote for Carrie Lake. I just,
Yeah.
I hey, this is nice to see. This is nice to see. With 38% in, we've got Katie Hobbs in a commanding lead over Carrie Lake. That is a good thing to see. We may actually see some a serious blue wave in Arizona. Hopefully, regionally as we go west, we'll start to see more blue winds.
Hope so.
God, I tell you, losing the House though is just breaking my heart, Brando.
Yeah.
And the numbers are there. I mean, I hate to call that this early at night, and I hope I have to eat every damn one of those words. I do,
Yeah.
but it's just I mean, it's really. I'm hoping the farther west we go, that the more seats we pick up.
Yeah.
Because it's looking to be kind of a regional thing. It's like the South is going to lead the country in stupidity again, and I don't
Yeah.
understand why they're not evolving with the rest of the country. Let me see how Bobo's doing.
That's what I just wanted to bring up, because I saw I've been getting some notifications come through from Twitter, and I saw where Midas Touch posted something about Lauren Boebert, and I was curious to see where she's at.
I'm going to pull you something up here in a minute. Brando, let me ask you something. If we see the MAGA House here in the near future, what do you think we should do? What do you think our priorities should be?
Man, that's a great question. Because, like I said earlier, I don't know what it will take to reach across the aisle. I don't know if we can reach across the aisle with them at all. And I think, like you said, we're just going to see one shit show after another. They're definitely going to impeach Biden, like you said. They'll impeach him 3 times because we did Trump twice. So I don't know, man. It's hard to it's hard. That's a tough question to answer at this point, because I don't know how we're ever going to get through to the other side, really. But I think we need to just continue to keep talking and continue to keep I think they've done such a good job. Like I said earlier, they've done such a good job of controlling the narrative and painting the picture, that I think we just have to fight back harder, man, and just keep spreading our message and keep telling people what we stand for. And maybe eventually, if people if people has to eat shit long enough, maybe eventually they'll start to realize that people like me and you are talking some sense. I don't know.
I tell you, I'm having a hard time finding anything that speaks directly to. I'm gonna have to check with the guys and see what they're coming up with so far tonight.
Yeah.
Let me see. Got Colorado Politics here that's made the call. No, they're fringe. They're fringe. I'm not gonna put my reputation on them. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull up something somewhere. I'm not getting any good. I'm not getting any good figures. Okay, I got New York Times here. Oh yay! Oh yay! You're gonna love this, my brother. You are going to love this. With 63% of the vote in, we have Adam Frisch leading Lauren Boebert 115 to 429. I mean, pardon me, 115 to 102. Yeah, let me go ahead and pull that up for you so you can see it. Show.
Cool. I would love to see at least one crazy lose their job.
Yeah, and this has given me hope, actually. This has actually given me a little bit of hope. Yeah, you've got Adam Frisch that looks like he's going to pull this out. 53 to 46, right? The way voting trends, like we talked about, you get the early vote in, that always favors the Democrat. This time of evening, though, you get that red wave of votes in. Lauren Boebert should be ahead, should be handily ahead if she's going to win re-election at this point of the evening.
Yeah.
With that many votes reported, she should be just raffle stomping at Adam Frisch right now. She's not. She is well behind. I mean, she's at 47%. He's at 53%. I mean, that's a 6-point race in the Democrats' favor at this time of the evening. It looks like Bobo's going to have to get a real job. I don't know, maybe open up that restaurant again or something of hers. I don't know, but
Yeah.
looks like she's going to have to get back to work.
Yeah.
All right. Max asks, is 2022 a failure, and what's next for us in 2024? You want to take that one, or?
Well, I'll take the first half. I don't think this is a failure. I really don't view this as a failure. I don't. It's not the strongest win that we wanted. It's not the blue wave that we hoped for. But I think, like you said, we are going to hold on to the Senate, and I think we're going to win some governor races. I think there is some good that's going to come out of this. I wouldn't consider it a failure. How do you feel about that?
No, I don't. Like I said, we were expecting a loss of seats. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 seats would be normal. We were hoping and working for a blue wave because the Republicans are so batshit crazy. I mean, we basically ran every campaign saying, look at these fuckers, you know what I mean? And vote accordingly. And I think actually, that wasn't enough to generate a blue wave. It's almost unheard of in this type of election for there to be a party in power that holds both, to just midterms are bad for us. They always are. When we're holding power. But I think we're going to see that neither side had a wave, and we are going to fight down to the last. It looks like as we get further and further west, we Democrats are doing, we did real well on the East Coast. We're doing real well on, as we move further and west. The South is a shit show again.
Yeah.
The Midwest has some mixed signals there. So I'm really thinking this is going to be something that we're not going to be able to say yay over, because losing the House would be devastating. And, it is just going to be devastating to lose enough seats to actually lose control of the House. But, if it's just a couple seats, it's a win. If it's just a few seats, it's a win. If it's 10 seats or less or something like that, we can call it, not just call it a win, it would actually be a win. Even though it's a giant shit burger in reality, because they're fucking crazy. I don't know why these people, I don't know who woke up this morning and said, I think it's a good idea. Let me go vote for Lauren Boebert. She represents my interest. I mean,
oh, I know. Yeah. And I don't know, here where I'm from, man, and I don't understand. I've said for years, like I said earlier in the show, I've bumped into so many people, man, that have talked about what a con artist someone like Mitch McConnell is, and yet he's been in power since I was 2 years old. you know, they bought into it, man, and it's really hard. Like I said, I don't think they're going out and voting for Lauren Boebert as much as they're voting against the Democrats. And I I think we have to just continue to do what we're doing and show people what they are, and eventually if they see it hitting them, I think it has to happen to them directly before they have any care about it. You know, that there are people that they don't care about any issue until it happens to them. So maybe if enough time passes, we'll see it. We may see a blue wave, but it may be a more gradual thing. It may be something that may take a lot longer for us to get where we're going. But I think people are just, I don't know. I can't imagine. I can't imagine waking up and saying, I'm going to go, I voted today, and I voted, here in Tennessee, I voted for Jason Martin for governor. I didn't want to see Bill Lee win, but I knew he was well ahead, and I knew that, this is probably what was going to be the outcome. But maybe if enough time passes, we have saw states go blue that we didn't think could do it. So maybe if enough time passes and people like us just keeps on talking, then maybe eventually we'll be able to turn some corners.
I'm looking right now at the election results. We've got in Ohio, and we've got 74% of the vote in, almost 3/4 of the vote in. You've got J.D. Vance has moved ahead. He's got 1.8 million votes to Tim Ryan's 1.5. That race I would like that this time of the evening to be closer, to be honest with you. I would really like that to be closer. It looks like, a 300,000 vote deficit is a rough one to make up, even though the largest chunks of votes left to come in. You've got full reporting in a lot of these. I'm looking at the rural counties right now. A lot of them, you've got full reporting, full reporting or close to. And then you've got the Columbus area, the Toledo area, the Cleveland area, and the Cincinnati area all still have votes left to yet to report.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to see if I can't find exactly what's been updated or not. Don't have old Steve Kornacki's system here. Let's check with USA Today. I've checked with a couple different ones. I'm wondering what counties are reporting and what aren't. See what we've got here.
All right.
Let's see what we got here. 29, 10-9 versus J.D. Vance, CBS. Now everybody's staying away from actually calling anything or actually putting out any. The media is doing that same shit that they always do, and I'm gonna have to look up some direct voter data instead of trying to do it the quick way. Let me see if I can pull something out of Washington Post. Sometimes they're a little bit better. As far as the amount of information they put out. Let's see what we're looking at here. We got 80 in Claremont County. We've got 85% of the vote in. In Warren County, we've got 97% of the vote in. In Butler County, we've got 72.5% of the vote in. Those are all Republican areas. Those are the suburbs of Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. Cincinnati itself, which has a much larger population, only has 47% of the vote in, and you've got let's see what we've got here with Tim Ryan. We've got take Hamilton County in Cincinnati. You've got Tim Ryan up 144 to 105 with a significant portion of the vote left in. In Butler County, you've got J.D. Vance is up 52 to 30. So it seems like that's part of the problem is you've got these rural counties that Tim Ryan is underperforming in. And but again, we're looking at the Warren County is 64-35, 64,000 versus 35 counties. Ironically, that's the actual percentage also, but they've got 97% of the vote in.
Yeah.
So you're looking at like Hamilton County, which has 140, so far has 250,000 votes. They've only got 47% of the vote in.
Yeah.
So you've got another 250, 260,000, 270,000 votes to come in out of Cincinnati that are breaking for Tim Ryan at about a 60-40 clip. So, just doing the math real quick, you're looking at a net 50,000 votes in Cincinnati alone, 50 to 70,000 in Cincinnati. In Columbus, we've got 82% in. So we've got 18% of the vote left to count. They've got total so far of 341,000 votes in Columbus, with another 18% say, we'll make the math easy, we'll say 20%. So 340,000, 20% of 340,000, you're looking at roughly 60, 70,000 votes left. And they're breaking 66, almost 70-30.
Yeah.
So 70,000 votes left, breaking 70-30. You're talking about another 40,000 votes in Columbus, Cleveland, or more, because they're going to break harder as the evening goes on. They're going to break more Democrat.
Yeah.
And we just had another vote dump. Again, more rural counties reporting in. You got Medina County, which is where Vance was pulling votes out of. You've got Stark County, where these are all at damn near 100%, 97% in Cuyahoga County, Lake County. All of these Republicans, they're petered out. That's it. Tim Vance is the parachute has popped out at 1.9 million votes. Tim Ryan's at 1.6. In Cleveland, we've got just 72% of the vote in Cuyahoga County, with 318,000, roughly 325,000 votes in. So you're looking at roughly, just trying to do the math real quick, you got roughly 30%, just shy of 30% of the vote left to come in, with 325 through, so 325, 32, 90,000 in Cuyahoga, just short of 100,000 votes that are splitting 70-30. So about 70,000 votes in Cuyahoga County alone. This is going to be tight. This is going to be tight.
Yeah.
We're looking for a big dump out of Summit County. Has only reported 57%. They're breaking 60-40 for Tim Ryan. Yeah, everywhere we've got votes left to come, is Tim Ryan territory.
Yeah.
The question is it going to be enough to close a 280,000 vote gap?
Yeah.
That's what we're looking at. So we got 70, and about 50. So that's going to be 140, 180,000 out of just Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati. That's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's got enough left out there. I don't know if he has enough left in the tank. That's what I'm talking about. You know, you had DeWine had a great evening.
Mm-hmm.
DeWine had a great evening, and it's really difficult when you have two candidates from the same party and the governor at the top of the race is really pulling votes in. It's really hard for the senator, since neither one of them are incumbents. It's really hard for a senator to screw the pooch bad enough to not coattails in. And that looks like what J.D. Vance is doing, despite running a horrible campaign. He looks like DeWine is just dragging him across the finish line. It looks like, I don't know. I'm looking at this map and I'm counting numbers, and I'm telling you, it looks like Tim Ryan is going to lose in a squeaker.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but it looks like he's going to lose in a squeaker.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia should not be a nail biter, but
no, it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. What are you? And I know we're going to have to get into Tennessee. Oh yeah, there are tons of Democratic votes left to come in, all over Georgia. Georgia's nowhere near done. Nowhere near done.
Okay.
Republicans have reported in, you know, there's a few counties that are left to report. We've got Columbus, you know, Muskogee County has got about 80% in. They're breaking about 60-40 for Abrams. You've got Bibb County that has broken about 60-40 for Abrams. You've got Richmond County, which is by Augusta, that's broken 65, almost 70-30 for Abrams, that still has 20% left to report. Again, there are a lot of votes left to come in for Stacey Abrams. DeKalb County's only got 60% of the vote in.
Yeah.
And DeKalb County is you know, it's going to break hard for, and is breaking hard for Stacey Abrams. This time of night, she's pulling an 85-15 lead in DeKalb County. And it's just, yeah, I'm looking at all the areas around Atlanta right now, and Abrams has a lot of votes. This doesn't look like Ohio to me at all, because you've got these rural Georgia is no man's land. I mean, you don't have, like up in Ohio, rural Ohio, you've still got a lot of people living there, you know?
Yeah.
Rural Georgia's not that way. There's a few larger counties out in the sticks, but they're not that many. You like Cherokee County is a suburb of Atlanta. It's not really rural. But it is the burbs, and Brian Kemp is doing exceptionally well in Cherokee County, but 85% of the votes are in, 86% of there's only 14% of the vote left, but he's breaking 75-25 in Cherokee County.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're looking at a big dump of votes out of there that are going to break hard, for Brian Kemp. Let's see how Warnock's doing. This is a very different picture from Warnock over. This may be one of those rare instances that 1 in 10 chance where the senator, where we get the party split, senator versus governor, because Warnock has a lead right now. I mean, pardon me, Walker has a lead right now.
Yeah.
It's 1,674,075 for Walker, 1,645,000 for Warnock. That's not an exceptional number of votes, and there are an exceptional number of votes left on the table. DeKalb County has only reported 60% of its votes.
Yeah.
That, to give you some idea, that's breaking almost 90-10 for Raphael Warnock. Every vote left, the 38%, 37% of the votes left in DeKalb County will go to Raphael Warnock. This is going to be close. But I'm gonna tell you, I think Warnock's gonna pull this out.
Yeah, I think so.
He is actually outperforming Stacey Abrams at this point.
Wow.
And I just don't know how somebody can look at, and this is our own backyard there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is our own, but this is you and me, buddy. This is our people. Middle-aged white guys are going out there and saying, you know what I think sounds good? Brian Kemp. That's what sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just fucking insane. I cannot wrap my head around in today's, why would anybody, can somebody tell me, can a right winger, or do we have a troll in the comments somewhere while I'm looking these numbers up that could tell me why anybody thinks that Brian Kemp is a good idea? I don't know, man. You're much more in tune with folks from the other side. I'll tell you, I am much more isolated than you. Mm-hmm. What is it with these right wingers that lets them look at this shit?
Well,
and think that's a good idea.
I know, man. It's crazy. I think they've just, like I said earlier, I know I've kind of been a little bit repetitive, but I just really believe it's true. They've bought so hard into the narrative that Democrats are the evilest people on earth. That's one reason. Another reason is, they really feel like that for some reason, and I don't understand this one, so I wish someone could explain this one to me, but for some reason they feel like that, Republicans in government have their best interests at heart, but liberals are the evil government. It's so, I don't know, man. They really feel like these people have their best interests at heart, and they've clearly shown time and time again that they don't. That's the part I don't understand. If you go pull up anybody, you can Google a person's voting record and see what they voted for and against these days. It's not hard to find. And yet, if you still show them, hey, look here, this person you voted for has voted against your own interest every step of the way, for some reason, they'll still buy it. And it's one of the most baffling things I've ever encountered, in all honesty. I've sat and had so many conversations with people, and they're conspiracy theory minded these days, man. They feel like the world is out to get them, and they just sit back and wait till they'll sit and scroll their phone till they find the headline that they like, and they can say, hey, this is what I believe, and they click on it. What have we found here?
Somebody was asking about the Georgia results while you were talking about that. I just kind of wanted to have this loaded up and ready to go. I don't know if you could see this on y'all's screens. If you're watching this on your phone, it may be a little bit small, but every single district, the way it broke in Georgia in the 2020 election is exactly how it's breaking tonight.
Wow.
We've still got District 2 left to report. If it was a plus Trump district, like District 1 was a Trump plus 13.
Yeah.
Old Buddy Carter, and the GOP took that one. If you're talking about, Biden had a plus 67 district. You got Nikema Williams in District 5 that is stomping the shit out of Christian Zim, 84-16. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, if they were tight in 2020, they're tight tonight. Unfortunately, District 14, Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's a Trump plus 37 district, is beating the shit out of Marcus Flowers, 67-33.
Yeah.
34 points. She's underperforming what Trump did in 2020 by 4 points, but that doesn't mean fuck all when there's 30 plus points left in the tank.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at these results and I'm trying to get some meaning out of it, and I just can't help but think that it really depends on the region of the country you're in, what's happening in that region. It looks like the farther west we go, the more sense people are making.
Yeah.
It just does. And the farther northeast you go. But in the South, everything just appears to be radicalizing.
Yeah.
Everything just appears to be radicalizing. Let me pull Texas up and see what we've got there. Should be getting some numbers in.
Yeah.
That gives us some idea. And I have to say kudos to Washington Post. They've been the best map so far to work with as far as raw data is concerned. With 60% of the vote in, you've got Greg Abbott up. What did we got? 3,300,000. 3,300,000 versus 2,650,000 for Beto O'Rourke.
Yeah.
But let's look and see. El Paso only has 36.8% of the vote, and it's breaking 65-34 for Beto. I mean, you're talking about thousands of votes sitting on the table in El Paso. You've got some of these counties, you know, like Reeves County.
Yeah.
It's got 99% of the voting in, and it's only 1,000. It's less than 3,000 votes for the whole county. There are literally counties in Texas with no people in them. I mean, what you could say is no people. You're talking about a county the size of you know, name a major city, and that county is bigger geography wise, and there are just no damn people in it because it's a damn desert out there. But if you take a look down here in Hidalgo County, and you know, down there in Cameron County, down there Brownsville, you're looking at, what do we got left on the table? We got 60% of the votes left on the table in Cameron County, and it's breaking 54-45 for Beto. You got 60-40 in Hidalgo County with 55% of the vote left on the table. You know, these are going to be, you're talking about like down near Webb County. It's only got 40% of the vote in. I used to hunt in Webb County, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible hunting down there. There's just a ton of votes left on the table. Bexar County, around San Antonio, has 64% of the vote in. It's breaking now this is disappointing. It's only breaking 60-40 for Beto. I would have liked to send closer to 70-30 in Bexar County, but you know, I'll take it. 60-40, I'll take it. It looks like 35, 350s, about a 700,000 vote deficit we've got left to make up. Blanco County, Travis County is 70% in. Talking about the Austin area, Travis County. You got about, in Austin, you've got somewhere in the neighborhood of 160,000 votes left out there that are going to break 75-25 for Beto O'Rourke. Washington Post is calling it for Greg Abbott right now, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're tabulating what's left out there. 51% in Harris County. So you've only got half the vote in Harris County in, but the problem is it's only breaking 54 to 45. It's only a 7 point. You need Harris County to break 60-40s.
Yeah.
For Beto to pull it out, and it's just not. The numbers aren't there. Harris County is such a disappointment. That is such a disappointment. We had a problem with early voting numbers coming out of Harris County. The numbers just were not there. I do not know why that was so why that's slipping away as a Democratic stronghold, but it is. I wish I could explain that to you folks. It doesn't make any sense. Dallas, we've got only half the vote in. And we're looking at it's breaking 65-35 with 400,000 votes left on the table. So we're talking about 120, 160 going for Abbott out of 400, and you're talking about 240,000 more for Beto. Yeah, that's just it, man. We just did not turn out enough. Beto is going to lose this race. Yeah. I'm just doing the numbers in my head real quick, and if Beto's going to lose, statewide, everybody else is too. It's just the way it works down here. And the deficits are way too big, and that's part of the problem here too. Is candidate quality. We had a guy running for attorney general by the name of Jaworski, who was just as sharp as they come, but the primaries didn't make a lot of sense down here in Texas. Rochelle Garza was not your strongest candidate by any means. And it looks like these under races are strongly underperforming. I mean, Ken Paxton, who is freaking indicted, man. I mean, the guy's a disaster. Just, I mean, he is trouncing Rochelle Garza by almost 20 points.
Yeah.
By 15 points right now. Mike Collier, again, another candidate that never got any traction. I don't think the 2,128,000 people that voted so far for Mike Collier.
Yeah.
I think if you held up a picture of Mike Collier, they wouldn't be able to definitively tell you if that was him or not.
Yeah.
And again, we're seeing one race out of, let me pull this up for you. Because it's exactly what we saw in Georgia. It is a repeat of 2020. What everything that happened in 2020 is happening again. Let me scroll down this so you can see the whole thing. You got District 1, my district, Trump plus 45 district. Nathaniel Moran beat the shit out of Jamar Jefferson 78-28.
Yeah.
And you do the math on it. That's right about what Trump, the Trump deficit. Just all over. There's one race. It's Monica De La Cruz versus Michelle Viejo in District 15. With 60% of the vote in. That's a little bit close, but again, a commanding lead for the Republican at this point. I don't know. I think that's a bit of a teaser, a little bit of hope that's coming out. But if it was a plus Biden district, I mean, look, you got Jasmine Crockett versus James Rogers in District 30, which is a plus 57 Biden district. You got 76-21. Well, only problem is the total number of votes out there weren't enough. We just didn't show up, man. We didn't. Yeah. And I don't know why. I honestly don't know why We didn't. I mean, what
Yeah.
what other argument besides they're fucking fascists can you make? You know?
I know. Exactly. That's something I've thought a whole lot about. I mean, I can't think of another. Can't think of a better reason to tell them. If that doesn't get through to them, then I don't really know what. Like I said earlier, I don't know how to go about reaching across that aisle. But I don't think we need to lighten up on it, man. I think we just need to keep pushing forward and keep letting people know where we stand and what we're about, because it's like you said earlier, it's going to be some interesting times that we're headed for sure. And what's going to happen the next 2 years will be very interesting before we get to 2024.
Let me see what we've got here going on. Yeah, as the night went on, you know, I remember when we first logged on, I was talking to you about Franken.
Yeah.
He was pulling, you know, he had a slight lead. As
Yeah.
the night's gone on, Grassley's pulled ahead to a 55 to 45 lead. And Iowa is much like most northern states. Its rural counties have a lot more people in them than you see down south. So Chuck Grassley was able to eat up there. He's ahead 55-45 right now with 83% of the vote in, or pardon me, with 65% of the vote in. He's up 55-45. And while Franken still has a lot of votes in the tank in, you know, like Johnson County, right around Davenport, Iowa, there's probably another 10 or 20,000 votes out there. In Polk County, around Des Moines, there's probably another 30 or 40,000 votes out there that he could reel in, but just not enough. There's just not enough there. It's going to be close, but you know, I don't know if that makes you feel, if close makes you feel better, you know, but the way it works in our country, close is still a loss.
Yeah.
If you're on the wrong side of close.
It's true.
And I'm starting to see one by one all of the races that I was hoping for a +1 pickup in the Senate, you know, here or there. I was hoping we could pick up 2 and make Manchin and Sinema irrelevant, but I'm, you know, just one right after the other. We're just losing those opportunities.
Yeah.
Let me take a look and see what's going on in Arizona. That's been one bright spot tonight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Arizona went blue, man. Arizona went blue. Yeah,
Great.
it is looking fantastic. Hobbs has a commanding lead, 57-43, and Maricopa's only in 50%. Yeah, Hobbs is going to dominate. And it looks like between her and Mark Kelly, they've had the wind behind their sails enough. Oh yeah, remember I was telling you about Tucson and how it's it's more favorable to Democrats now with Mark Kelly there because it's his home. So that we end up pulling more net votes out of that area. They've only got 41% of the vote in. Mark Kelly's winning that 70-30 in Pima County.
Yeah.
With only 40% of the votes in. Yeah, this is kind of fascinating. See, this is why it's so hard for me to put a finger on this, is that, you know, Florida's a shit show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a straight ass sewer right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you give them good candidates, people to vote for, and they just won't do it. They won't turn out. They'll vote for somebody like a little bitch like Marco Rubio, but you've got Mark Kelly here and Katie Hobbs in Arizona, and Katie Hobbs wasn't the strongest candidate. She really wasn't. She basically just avoided the nutball Kerry Lake and let
Yeah.
Kerry Lake self-immolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, every down ballot race is strongly leaning Democrat. Yeah, this is what you want to see. This is what you want to see. Let me pull this up so that everybody can see what I'm talking about. Now, this is the Washington Post website here, but you've got Katie Hobbs. They haven't called it for her yet, but she's got a 57 to 43. But if you look at where there are votes left on the table, you got 56, almost 60% of the votes in from Mojave County.
Yeah.
But look at the number of votes we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just said it was 50%, just to make the math easy, you're talking about another 40,000 votes out there.
Yeah.
Max. And the fact that they're breaking 70-30, I mean, you're only talking about only talking about 25,000 votes net, for Republicans. And in Yuma County, that's 53-47. That's normally a stronger Republican turnout in Yuma County than that. It's not tonight. You're just not seeing it. Seems like the farther west we go,
Yeah.
the more sane people are getting.
Yeah.
So let's head down here. You got Mark Kelly. He's at a 64, almost a 20-point lead over Blake Masters, with all of these Democratic strongholds left: Santa Cruz, Tucson, Phoenix, Mesa County. With hell, you've got 75% of the vote left on the table in Mesa County, and those are all going to break hard Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
Cochise County is breaking Democrat right now with 60% of the vote in. But again, look at what the totals. There's only 25,000 votes on the table there. 20,000 votes left. It won't matter if that turns around and breaks Republican by a few points. It just won't matter. This is a done deal. You can now count Arizona as a blue state.
Wow.
Well, that's nice to know. That's nice to know. I'm gonna pull up Nevada right now, because I know the Nevada Senate race. We had Master down there that was really in a fight for her life. Thank you, Washington Post, for putting up a decent website with actual information on it.
Yeah, it's great.
Let me go ahead and pull this up. We've got nothing out of Nevada. Nothing reported out of Nevada. Nothing.
Wow.
Their polls are still open.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess if you want to take a bright spot, it seems like the farther west we go, the better we're doing. And that whole thing of the Republicans made inroads in Washington State there for a little while, and it seems like that may be over.
Yeah.
See what's going on as we've gotten more numbers in Florida. All right, man. Yeah, DeSantis just has with 97% of the votes in and tabulated, you're looking at DeSantis with a 60-40 lead, 20-point
Wow.
lead. That's a blowout. That
Yeah.
is a blowout, folks. And I can't, I don't know, but explain to me, Brando, what has Ron DeSantis done to deserve a blowout victory?
Man, I can't think of one single thing. It to me, any rational person, it should have went the other way. Or it should have at least been close. For that one to be a blowout, like you said earlier, man. I mean, I saw a whole lot of people talk about Florida, and I didn't realize just how bad it had gotten, but apparently it has. But he's gonna. I'd say he will use this momentum. You'll see him probably. He's probably definitely running for president. He's going to use this as momentum to have a blowout like this, especially after Trump insulted him to still have his blowout. Yeah, I would have never guessed it. I would have thought it would at least have been close on that part.
You know, there's something wrong here. Miami-Dade is breaking 55, 40, 45 for Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
That's wrong. That is not correct. Something has they screwed up with their cheating in Miami-Dade. There's some. I'm going to use the word cheating.
Yeah.
That is a massive flip. Miami-Dade is a Democratic stronghold, and you're telling me that Ron DeSantis won that by 12 points?
I don't know.
Now we know why Ron DeSantis was saying federal election observers couldn't be in Miami-Dade count rooms today.
Yeah.
Something is definitely wrong there. We need to look at what's happened with this vote in Florida.
Yeah.
These numbers are just, cheating is one thing, but cheating to the point that any layperson can look at the results and say Miami-Dade County did not go 12 points for Ron DeSantis. It didn't.
Yeah.
It just didn't. And I'm looking at the Texas results here. At Harris County.
Yeah.
Let me pull this up for you so you can see it. There we go. Okay, Houston is one of the largest. Is the second is one of the largest cities in the country. Period. And you see this little blue dot right here?
Yeah.
That's Harris County. That's Houston. And they're saying Beto O'Rourke only won Houston by 7 points. And that Houston only produced 730,000 votes. That is insane. Something is wrong there. Something is definitely wrong there. Dallas is, it's only got 50% of its vote in, but it's already, 300, 420. It's on track to produce 800,000 votes. Harris County is not Texas is red because it's always traditionally been a non-voting state.
Yeah.
Way too many people don't vote. Yeah, something's wrong with these Harris County numbers. They're just wrong.
Yeah.
This is not possible. It's just not possible. I don't know what the hell is going on, but with half the vote in, no, I'm sorry. We need to have an investigation into this. We really do. This is just wrong. And I don't even know what to tell you went wrong because I'm not on the ground in Houston, but I'm telling you that kind of turnout and those numbers in Harris County only going 7 points for a Democrat? No, I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Yeah.
That's just that's just wrong. I mean, look at every other county. You're telling me that Republicans just vote more, in greater percentages. Montgomery County outside, which is a typical red stronghold, has typical results. It's breaking 75-25 for Republicans. That's what you would normally see.
Yeah.
But you're telling me in Harris County, which would normally break at minimum 60-40 for Democrats, is only breaking 53-45? No, that's not happening. That's just not happening. There's something really, really stinky going on.
Yeah.
Bear County is breaking 60-40. That's what you would expect in an off-year election, in a midterm. 60-40 in Bear County. That I understand. It's normally I could accept that. I think realistically what you would see is something more along the lines of 65-35.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking at these results, and Travis County 75-25 for Democrats. That's normal. That's normal. Why would you have normal voting numbers in some parts of the state and then just this one city over here? Dallas is breaking 65-35 for Democrats. That's normal.
Yeah.
El Paso is breaking 65-35 for Democrats. That's normal. Brownsville is breaking 55-45. That's abnormal. Normally you would see the Brownsville area breaking at least 65-45 in an off-year election, probably closer to 70-30 if it was a presidential year.
Yeah.
Not what we're seeing here. Just not what we're seeing here. I mean, it's like there's something hinky going on down in the valley.
Yeah.
And there's something really, really not right in Houston. Something's rotten in Houston.
Yeah.
And we need to figure out what the hell it is. Because I'm trying to break this down district to district to see the big swing. And see, I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it district to district.
Yeah.
There's just something not right. Now I'm going to be up all night, Brando.
Yeah.
Trying to find out what happened. Find out what happened in Houston.
Yeah.
Anyways, have we gotten any good questions out of chat, lady?
I don't know. I'm not able to see it on my end. Have we got any?
I'm running through it. Nancy Hayes that says that MSNBC is called for Bud. She's saying that MSNBC said Todd Budd's up on Sherry Beasley. I can pull those numbers up real quick. That was one of the ones I was hoping we were going to pick up.
Yeah.
Because Beasley was such a better person and candidate.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got in North Carolina. We are looking at Washington Post hasn't called for Bud yet. They've got 80% of the vote in, and we've got Bud leading by 4 points. Let me see if I can see where the votes are on the table. Let me pull this up so you guys can see it as well. Okay, we've got Mecklenburg County, which is Charlotte, North Carolina, has 75% of the vote in, and it's breaking 65-35. for Beasley. We've
Mhm.
got Buncombe County's 100% in. It broke 60-40. Up near Greensboro, breaking about 60-40. You see these numbers, that's normal, man. What we're seeing in Houston,
Yeah.
that there's something wrong with those numbers, and the federal government's really going to have to step in and take a look at this because there's just something wrong with those numbers. Orange County, all around Raleigh.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're seeing the numbers breaking in. There's still a lot of votes left on the table too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Democrats have Beasley has. I don't know how you can, at this point, call this race for Bud. There's way too many votes left out on the table for Bud. For Beasley to call this for Bud. And I'm looking at these large Republican areas, these large Republican strongholds. Davidson's 99% in. Randolph County's 99% in. Iredale's 99% in. Catawba's 99% in. Yeah, all of these rural, there's nothing left on the table for Bud.
Yeah.
And these are breaking hard. Durham is breaking 81-18 for Sherry Beasley. You got 33% of the vote left in Wake County and Raleigh, North Carolina. And so you're talking about a considerable number of votes. So they're breaking 63-35 for Sherry Beasley, almost 2-1 with
Yeah.
with more than 100,000 votes left on the table.
Wow.
I have no idea how you can call at this point with the race this close for Bud. I think we're going to wake up and hear something about that race.
Probably so.
This is a good one to hear. Let me see. I don't have a map on it for District 13, but with 90% of the vote in, Nickel is beating Bo Hines 51-48. He's got a 3% lead with only 11% of the vote left to count. And I guarantee you, the way the counting goes, that those last few votes are going to break Democrat.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see old Nickel, Wiley Nickel, beating Bo Hines, but it's going to be a nail biter.
Yeah.
I hope so, because he is a horrible human being. He's a 27-year-old little punk. That he's the guy that said your neighbors should. He wants to form councils if you're raped and
Yeah.
need an abortion.
Yeah.
That's Bo Hines.
Yeah.
That your neighbors should be able to weigh in on that.
Yeah.
Well, Brando, until we start getting those elections in, those election results in on the West Coast, and that's going to be several hours
Yeah.
out. I don't see.
Yeah. We'll let everybody know too. We'll be back here again tomorrow night, and we'll know all the results then, I'm sure, and we'll be able to talk more about it. And tomorrow night's show will be the same time, same channel, 9:30 here on your page, and we'll definitely have a lot more to talk about because we'll have it all in, and we'll also have all day to kind of sit and take it all in.
Yeah, because I guarantee you, and I'm gonna call some friends that I have in the Democratic Party and start raising hell about Harris County, because that in the last election, the numbers out of there didn't make sense either.
Yeah.
They didn't make any sense at all. I
Yeah.
mean, Harris County is, it's just a Democratic city. It is. It's like Dallas. It's like everything else in Texas. The cities are Democrat and the rural areas are Republican. And Harris County does not break that way for, I mean, I'm sorry. It is not a 6-point city. It's not. I'll look up the number of registered voters in Harris County.
That's a good point. Yeah, that would be. I'm not as familiar with you are as you are with that part of the country, but
Go back and look at Harris County again.
yeah.
Okay, Harris County has 2.5 million registered voters.
Yeah.
We're looking at they're on track to have 600, 750, 1.5 million. So what you're telling me is 1 million people didn't show up and vote in this election in Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, man. I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
I just don't see that happening at all.
No, I can't either.
There's something really wrong with 1 million people didn't show up to vote in Houston, and I'm sorry. I think the Republicans have told on themselves in this case because it's one thing like we were talking about Kentucky earlier today.
Yeah.
There's something stinky in Kentucky vote count.
Yeah.
There just is. There's no way. It's one thing to say that old Turtlehead won, but he didn't win with like 80%, almost 90% of the vote. He just didn't. There were enough people that hated his ass that if he, you know what I mean, it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Before we call this quits and wind this up, I want to take a look at Georgia one more time.
Okay.
Take a look at where old Raphael Warnock is.
Yeah, that one's should have never been that close.
Yeah, you're telling me that Brian Kemp had a blowout? Because that's what 8 points is a blowout. And right now he's up by 8 points. Wow. I just don't believe that to be true. Something is wrong with some of these some of these numbers. Warnock and Herschel Walker are in a dead heat. They're in runoff territory right now. Yeah. They have less than 1,000 votes to separate them.
Wow.
Yeah, DeKalb County is going to destroy Herschel Walker. There's about 225,000 votes reported. And no, there's a little more than that. About 200, just right at 250,000 votes reported. And you've got another 125,000 left out on the table that are breaking 85-14 for Warnock. There's no way Warnock doesn't win this election. Just no way. Everything else, all these little rural counties have reported. As soon as DeKalb dumps, this is over. Warnock has won re-election. So there's a bright spot there.
Yeah.
99%. And down in Savannah, you've got all the votes in. Columbus, you've got all the votes in. There are no big. I'm looking for big pockets of votes anywhere, and I'm just not seeing them other than DeKalb County.
Yeah.
Which is going to break hard for Warnock.
Yeah.
Newton County is breaking just shy of 60-40 for Warnock. It's got a few votes left out there. About 10, 15,000 votes left out there that are going to fall into the Warnock column. We just had one report in, but that's not from DeKalb County. Rockdale County is fully reported. I'm trying to check these big Republican strongholds outside Atlanta.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing is, yeah, they're all done. Cherokee County, Forsyth has a dump left. It's 76, about 75% reported in Forsyth County. It's breaking 75-25 for Warnock. Yeah, this is gonna be one of those rare situations where you get the governor's race that breaks differently, because I don't see enough votes out on the table. I don't see 300,000 votes left out on the table. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
Even when you take in like Cobb County is at 72% reported. See, that's wrong too. What the hell? I'm starting to see a pattern with these fucking Republican votes, man.
Yeah.
Cobb County does not break 51-48 Democrat Republican. It doesn't. It's a 60-40 county at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something stinky in these vote numbers, man. And it's not just, the people just woke up and didn't like Democrats this year. That's bullshit. I mean, Cobb, I'm looking at this. Stacey Abrams pulled in, according, they're saying it's a 51-48 county. Stacey Abrams pulled in 136,000. Brian Kemp pulled in 127,000 from Cobb County. That's Atlanta, brother. That's Atlanta, Georgia. You telling me that Brian Kemp performed in Atlanta, the western edge of Atlanta? You're telling me he did 50% of the vote?
Yeah.
No, sir. No, he did not. I don't know how that is. I'll give you an idea. Clayton County, which is just south of Cobb County, is breaking 86-14 for Abrams.
Wow.
I'm just not seeing that. Cobb County, Douglas County, which is even farther out, is breaking 62-37 for Stacey Abrams.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing that. I'm just not seeing that. I know Cobb County is one of those northern suburb areas, but like Fulton County here broke 70-30. Until you got out to Cherokee County, you didn't get in it, and it inverses hard. Like Cherokee County broke 75-25 for Kemp.
Yeah.
Barlow County broke 78 80-20 for Kemp.
Yeah.
Paulding County broke 65-35 for Kemp. You're telling me that these counties that are Democratic counties that normally break 60-40 like Douglas County are suddenly Cobb County is breaking 50-50? I don't know. That's not happening.
Yeah.
That is not happening. There's some weird shit going on in this. Miami-Dade breaking Republican. I'm telling you, man, the cheating just went too far. They just tipped their hand. Yeah. And I will never not say they didn't cheat, because Miami-Dade is not a Republican stronghold. It isn't. Yeah. That's not a surprise. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know. You think I don't know. Do you think I'm wrong there, Brando,
No,
or do you think?
no, I don't. I think there's definitely, we've seen it before, and it's like you said, that's a stronghold there. So I don't know what's up with that at all.
Fulton County still has 10% of its votes out, and we're looking at 300, 400,000, 10%, another 40,000 votes that are breaking 70-30. So another 25, 27,000 votes for Stacey Abrams left
Yeah,
in Fulton County. And then these numbers too. I mean, this is urban Atlanta.
yeah,
Even with 25, I mean, 20, you're telling me we're only going to get 350,000 votes out of DeKalb County
that's
total?
crazy.
That is crazy. That's freaking Atlanta, people.
Yeah,
That's one of the largest cities in the country. You're telling me that the DeKalb County only had 350,000 votes?
yeah,
Now, there's something wrong here.
yeah,
There is something wrong here. I'm going to have to look at these numbers in the morning
yeah,
and get the finals. But I mean, if you start looking at the number of registered voters, the number of people that had to say in this environment, I just don't think I'm voting this year. We're
yeah,
not even, that's bullshit.
yeah. Well,
Linda was saying that Greg Palace said Georgia did some screwed up stuff with over 1 million mail-in ballots. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did some other dirty shit. That's what I'm thinking too. I'm thinking like here in Texas, they implemented a it's a computer controlled verification of your signature. Now,
mhm.
Brando, it's damn near impossible to write the same signature twice on one of those little plastic pads.
Oh yeah,
They just
for
don't
sure.
work that way. They just
Yeah,
don't work that way. And there were a lot of people that were doing their registration or updating their registration that were bitching here in Texas saying that, man, I was standing there in front of the guy and they rejected me
yeah,
and made me sign again because it rejected my signature right there.
yeah,
I am thinking that there's some screwy shit going on with that program for it to. I mean, we're missing 1 million votes in Harris County.
yeah,
We're missing 1 million votes in Harris County
yeah,
alone, Houston, Texas alone.
yeah,
I'm calling bullshit, man. I am.
yeah. I agree.
I am calling bullshit. Man, I know it's getting late as shit where you're at.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to be. I'm gonna have to be hopping off here, but we can come back tomorrow once the dust settles, and we can talk more about it, man. And
I would like to dig into these numbers as best
yeah,
we can. And you know what? I'm not going with this one right here. Somebody, let me pull it up here. Um, where is it? There we go. That's the one I was looking for. Dina May said voter suppression, y'all. And I
yeah,
am saying 100%. I am going to bet you that we're going to find out that they disqualified at least 1 million mail-in ballots.
yeah,
I at least statewide 1 million mail-in ballots.
yeah. I would say so.
There's just, and the disparity between what we're seeing when you start to get out west and what we're seeing in like Arizona, what we're seeing in man, the temperament around the country doesn't change that much.
Exactly.
Elections flow one direction or the other.
Yeah,
This is a weird ass election. This is elections going hard. Fucking Miami-Dade went Republican this year. Bullshit.
yeah,
Bullshit.
yeah,
I'm telling you Brando, that is bullshit. I would
it is.
bet I would let I would let fucking Ron DeSantis put a gun to my head and take that vote. I would look him dead in the eye and say, no fucking way Miami-Dade went for you. No fucking way. Let's dig into the numbers. If I'm wrong, you can pull the trigger.
Yeah.
I am that confident that Miami-Dade, that's fucked, man. Houston is fucked. Every state, Atlanta, the numbers are fucked.
Yeah.
The numbers are fucked. You're telling me, I mean, we talk to people all the time. We talk to Democrats all the time. Are you telling me, did you get the feeling that people weren't showing up this year?
Oh, no. More than ever, I thought they were coming, you know. I thought they were for sure going to show up.
I mean, I'm telling you, there's something fucking rotten there. And the news is going to come out tomorrow and say, oh, people didn't turn out and this, that, and that. Bullshit. Miami-Dade did not break Republican. The news story tomorrow needs to be what the fuck happened with the voting in Miami-Dade. And we need to look at those ballots. We need to look at what DeSantis fucking disqualified. We need to find out why DeSantis didn't want federal election monitors in the fucking Miami-Dade count room.
Yeah.
That's a load of horse shit.
It is.
I mean, they're just cities that just don't perform that way. They just don't perform that way. That are just insane. You know, I can understand Tim Ryan losing up in Ohio. I can.
Yeah.
Mike DeWine is a popular Republican governor, and he's pretty much a centrist.
Yeah.
You know, he really is. Centrist Republican's a piece of shit in my book, but he's still a centrist. So I can see Tim Ryan losing up there, but the rest of these numbers make no fucking sense, man.
No, they don't.
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
Yeah. Well, we'll have a chance. Like I said, we will have a chance to, when the dust settles tomorrow, we'll have a chance to look at it and come back again tomorrow night and talk more about it.
Yeah, we're going to have to do it, brother. It's 10:45. I know it's late as shit where you're at.
Yeah.
You're scraping midnight and you got to work tomorrow. So let's call this. And
all right,
brother, it was fun. Good. I enjoyed it. Folks, thanks for hanging out with us. Go out. Do me a favor. Go out and buy a gun. Go out and buy a gun. Please. You don't have to spend a fortune on it. You can find guns that work well, that are inexpensive. You can buy a pump shotgun for under $200 made by Mossberg. That's a damn good shotgun, damn quality shotgun. Just I'm telling you, you need to arm yourselves. Shit's about to get crazy.
It will.
Take care, my brother.
All right, man. We'll catch you tomorrow.
All right, man. Old Texas Paul out.
See you.
Folks, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being here tonight. It is my privilege to have been here to share election night with you. I'm sorry if I've missed any of your questions or whatnot, digging into what was going on, but I'm not even joking. I'm not even kidding. This is not rhetoric. This is not hyperbole. There's something incredibly wrong with some of these numbers that are coming out. Harris County does not have 1 million voters evaporate. It doesn't happen. Miami-Dade does not break 4 Republicans. It does not happen. It does not happen. I'm sorry. That's not just, they don't like our policies anymore from the election 2 years ago to now. No. If anything, it's the Republicans that have radicalized. Those numbers should be stronger out of Miami-Dade. There's some serious shit going on. And there are enough Republicans out there that believe that the last election was stolen, that they would feel that it would be okay to cheat. So I'm asking you, wake up tomorrow and look at the results in Miami, Atlanta, and Houston, Texas. And if those numbers don't significantly change into the Democratic column, and start mimicking normal numbers, I'm asking you, call the DOJ. I'm asking you to call your representatives if you've got a Democratic representative. Call your local Democratic Party and scream your bloody head off that we have got to demand something. This can't be like the 2020 election where we said, hey, something didn't go right in Houston. And we did that in the last election. We did. Houston, the numbers, people like me were like, hey, Houston was not right. We need to look at that, but it just slipped away. And now what are we doing? We're looking at Houston again saying that ain't right. Houston does not break 50-50, folks. It doesn't. It just doesn't. Anyways, I love you folks. Go buy a gun. You have a wonderful night.